that's where the project excellence fits into the big picture as described by IPMA. So basically, if you look at the organizational competence baseline, it covers the way organization organizes its project management processes, takes care of project management resources, how it improves constantly. And part of that effort to make sure that your projects are managed in a way that your strategy is realized is also to look into every single particular project and make sure that within that project you have all the learning cycles and you have the governance in place, and that project will surely contribute to the success of your company. So basically what we're doing here is assessing a single project, even though it is done in the context of your organization's strategic efforts to develop your project management. If you are interested in assessing the organization as a whole, IPMA has another product which is called Delta, and we strongly encourage you to have a look at that. This is organization's maturity assessment focused entirely on project management. It focuses on programs, portfolios, and projects, and especially its strategic context. And what we will show you in a second is fitting into that picture in a way that our model looks into a single particular project. So Kasia, if you could take me to the next slide. What you see now on the screen is the project excellence model in a context of pre, at, and past project activities. And I will explain you the model itself in few minutes, but what I would like to start with is the usage of it. I told you that we have this organizational competency baseline at IPMA, and that helps you to assess the entire organization's project management efforts. And this model that you see now on the screen is focusing on a particular single project. You can actually use it in 3 phases, at least in 3 phases of project. As you might see here, initially, before you even start your project efforts, you might use this model to assess the quality of your methodology, and you can assess actually the way your project is being initiated. Then what you see in green color just beneath the model is what you can do inside the project. And this model is designed to support you in self-assessment of the project as it goes. So basically, as you will see very soon, it helps you to create this continuous improvement loop already inside of the project. And actually, many of our applicants are using this model already when they run the project, just to make sure that the lessons learned within their activities are already taken into account and they improve their methods as they go. And the last part of the picture, and this is where we come in, is the post-project analysis. When your project is done, it contains so many lessons that can be still learned, and it gives you such a great opportunity to benchmark yourself that it's a huge mine, I would say, of knowledge for your organization. And you can either do this knowledge mining yourself by applying the model in your self-assessment, or what you can do is to come to this competition and have your project assessed according to this model by 5 professionals that will come to your site and will help you to understand how did you manage your excellence in project and how does that compare to another projects worldwide. If we can go to the next slide. You can look at it a little bit like on the Deming cycle, and I can show you that in 2 different perspectives here, because the entire model is basically its fundamentals, its foundations are based on PDCA. If you look at it from the mega perspective, or from the strategic perspective of the company, you can see that entire project management effort is usually planned in the beginning. Then you try to execute it, then you see if it works, and then you change based on that. If you look at the single project perspective, and this is what we assess in the awards, is you have an idea for a project, you execute it, this is the red arrow, and then we come into the play with the awards. We give you a chance to evaluate the project that has been concluded, has been finalized, in order to enable you to act and to improve your management methods for the next run of a similar or other project in your company. You can also use this cycle, and this is actually what we will assess when we come to your project within the project itself. So what we will look at is how you plan your management processes, how you execute them, How do you check if these processes work as you expected? And this is a very important part of the assessment. What do you do with these learnings? You learn across the project. Do you implement your lessons as you go? And I might make a short interruption here, so to say, in this presentation, just to answer one question that is always asked whenever we face an applicant. Can you really score high with a project that started badly? And if you look at this model, we tell you, yes, you can. Because what is important is not how you start your project, but what counts is how well are you observing the situation, how much you learn from the situation, and how well you adapt your way of working into the situation that you found. So we have had projects in the past that started really badly, but then what we've noticed is extreme attention on seeing the reality, extreme adaptation, and very good acting on the findings that they had in the project. So this is what we're after in this award. We're not only after how well you implement the books in project management, we're after your learning cycle, and we're after your continuous improvement efforts within the project. This is the main message behind the model. And Kasia, if you can take us to the next slide. So this is the model. What you see now on the screen is the model that is built originally by GPM. This is German Association for Project Management, and this is where it started. Later it was internationalized, but its origins were actually not project management. The model has started from the foundations of EFQM. So the entire assessment is based on the same principles as EFQM assessments, which is very good if your company has ongoing efforts to improve your quality, because we fit into those efforts in a very sleek and very nice way. And this model consists, as EFQM, of two parts. On the left side, you see the project management part. This is where we assess how your project is managed. So basically, we look at your management processes, and in the right part, we look at how these processes lead your organization to achieving the result it wanted. And as you might see, there are arrows on the top and the bottom of the model, and these arrows show you that we also look at the cycle. We want to see inside your projects, when we assess it, how your project management methods lead to results, and how well you observe these results and adapt your learnings into the methods already within your project. Very briefly going through the criteria, what you might see here is a little bit of standard parts like project objectives, which is quite natural when you assess projects. You have things like resources, you have things like processes, but what is very special about the assessment we're doing is also that we assess the leadership style, and we assess the way people are developed within the project, which is very unique to this award because it goes very much beyond just project management maturity. It goes very well beyond project management processes. It really looks into the entire landscape, into systemic picture of the project. On the right part, you have the results, and this is also something interesting. How do we assess it? Because only the last box, key performance and project results, is the part where we assess your project based on the actual numbers. We will look at your objectives and we will compare them with the outcome. However, in the first three boxes, customer, people, and the other parties, what we're looking at is their perception. And this is very important because you will see later that within the process, we'll have several interviews with your stakeholders. And the key thing to understand is that as part of our assessment, we come to them and we ask them, basically, are you happy with this project and why? The reason we don't look at the numbers only is because of this leadership and people part. What we pay a big attention to at IPMA is how your leadership and how your involvement of key human resources in the project lead to satisfaction of stakeholders at the end of the day. That's why we will so strongly focus on the perception of stakeholders on the results.